Thank you so much for being here. And it's my pleasure and proud privilege to be welcoming you here on behalf of the entire editorial team for this launch of our magazine, Conversations in Search of Our Inner Self. It has been a great journey. And I remember Gauri sent us the book, Die Empty, where the author says, all the goodness which we have, we should be using in this world before we go. And I think coaches have, in spite of having diverse ways of thinking, diverse styles, there is something very common which I feel in all coach, and that I'm very proud of. And that's a bit of a spiritual side in all the coaches. And the conversations which we have with our coaches, they lead to such awareness, such insights, which, if captured, become such a valuable asset for this world. And I'm sure this magazine will do that work. And as we go ahead, we'll have more and more insights, such wonderful insights, which the world can really benefit from. Yes, and once again, a very warm welcome to you. We have a very interesting evening ahead of us. And I would request MG to please speak a few words before we go ahead with the rest of the agenda. MG, please.
Thank you, Rashmi, and I like the way you said it. Speak a few words. And you've seen me well enough to know that caution is very aptly needed. So welcome everybody, and I'm so happy that the seed that we laid has germinated, sprouted, and leaves have come up, and now is flowering and fruit has shown up. This magazine thought came up from one of our members, Rekha. I must compliment her, first of all, for leading this initiative and the editorial team. Oh, I think these team and Rekha really made it happen. There were a lot of challenges in the beginning, but I think overall, it has been an extremely great experience for the chapter, for the ICF members, and for the editorial team. And I hope this magazine will be the trendsetter in the days to come. I was having a conversation with the presidents of the other chapters. They were quite enthused and excited by it as well. And let us see how we can take this a little more pan India in the days to come, a little more open, and make it of more value and a common platform for all of us to exchange our views and exchange our views about our inner self. I think that's the most essential part of it. And thank you, Rekha, and thank you, editorial team, for making this happen. With that, I will hand over to Rekha.
Thank you so much, MG. And now I would request Rekha and Vivek. We three were there in the editorial team. We volunteered along with Rekha to speak a bit about the genesis of this magazine and the way forward and the journey which we have had till now. So I'll hand over to Rekha. If you could please start it, Rekha.
Sure. Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, MG. It's been really encouraging, and it's been a journey itself to bring this magazine to all of you. Um, the thought came in to have a magazine because, uh, we wanted to bring in an enriching experience for members, and we felt a magazine could be a wonderful space for coaches to share their thoughts, their experiences, and bring their knowledge and experience to this entire world. And as a chapter history, we've never had a magazine of our own, and we thought it'd be a good idea to have one. The thoughts that were running in our mind was that the magazine should be attractive, not looking like any other newspaper or a newsletter that we typically see of associations, and something which looks very attractive, professional, and which would create a real nice vibe and buzz in the coming future. So I'm thankful to Rashmi and Vivek, who agreed to work with me, and it's been a thoroughly a pleasure to work with both of them and bring this magazine out to all of you. And that's how this journey of the magazine started. And when they both agreed, and we started discussing, we deliberated a lot of things that we wanted to do. So Vivek, over to you now.
Thank you. Good evening, all of you. My name is Vivek Anantakrishnan. Most people have not seen me. I'm new to this chapter, and I've been associated with this editorial board. It was very interesting launching this magazine. And when we started off this magazine, we had three ideas that we thought we would work on. One was that it should not only have a pan-India presence, but also we were looking at a global audience, because most of our coaches have been international clients. The second thing that we said was we are only going to have original articles and articles that have not been published anywhere. And finally, like what Rekha said, it should be aesthetically appealing. So these are the three main ideas that we had. I would like to thank the editorial team who backed us fully, especially MG and the other part of the committee. I would also like to thank Rekha and Rashmi, because I always found one of them always available, and things were very smooth. I also want to thank all our, we got a lot of challenges, all those people who had thrown up challenges. I consider them as, a different perspective, and also our conscience keepers, because if they were not there, we would not have gone into so much. So I want to thank all of you, and especially all the members who contributed. It is not your contribution. I'm going to again ask you for the contribution when the next magazine comes up. So don't think that we've already contributed once, our job is over. No, please, I'm going to again ask you people. So I can see Rashmi Shetty smiling. Certainly, I'll ask you first. Give me the next, please keep your next article ready. Thank you. Back to Rashmi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vivek. Yeah, so I'll start from the year 2015. On 9th of December, I was invited for a launch of an ICF chapter, Bangalore chapter. I was in corporate and I was not aware of it much. I came here and I was there in the meeting, actually. See, when I saw the photo which PK had sent, I saw me sitting in a corner there. From there to today, where I know many of you, it has been a journey. So yes, it has been a wonderful journey doing the editing of this. This is something which I love to do. I love to read a lot. And I saw while there were so many diverse thoughts, so many diverse styles of writing, there was a common theme running across. And if you see the articles, they're all very diverse, all diverse, but there's some common theme which was running. And this was the theme which is at the core of coaching. So a lot of values which I saw, which were common here. So yes, we'll start with, today we have decided we'll ask the authors to speak a bit about what they wrote. What was the objective? What did they expect the readers to feel? And I have kept a quiz. Okay, I'm not going to name out the authors, and I hope all the authors are here. I'll just speak a bit about your article, and I want you to identify that it's your article and start speaking on your article. I hope that's good with all of you. I spent some time doing this. Okay, now let's start. And it's the form of small poetries or small snippets. 2015 was the year when things became very clear that Bengaluru ICF chapter would steer the changes and growth in people here. Yes. I want the authors to come out here. There are 3 authors here.
Well, that's a major hint.
I can't help it if the author is not coming.
So yeah, I think Winston's here. I don't see PK.
Yeah, I'm here.
So I guess that's us, because we wrote an article. It is a kind of just a chronological set of events of what happened, how we set up the chapter and all that. So that's it. I've answered your question. What do I get?
Yes. Anything else which would Dr. Winston you would like to speak about, or PK you would like
you
to
get this.
Okay, fine.
I think it's been a very interesting journey, Rashmi.
Yeah.
To get it started was no joke. It was quite a battle of wits, but eventually I think all came together and the volunteers came together and we were able to establish. And it was wonderful to have the entire ICF board here for our launching. That was real history for them all to come to a country for the launching of our chapter, which was really wonderful.
Yes.
And they really appreciated, and they also apologized the way they had treated us. So that's something that I'm really, really humbled to share with everyone.
Thank you very much, Doctor. PK, would you like to say something? PK is there now?
I'm not sure if PK is there.
No, I don't think PK is there. So maybe I'll just say a couple of things, right, in terms of how we went through this entire process of setting up the chapter and so on. Yeah, like Winston said, it was great. You know, we were creating something out of nothing in a way. So it had its own set of excitement. It had its problems. It had its challenges and so on. But I think what really pulled us through was the amazing kind of teamwork, you know, and people really worked out of their skin and got together. And it's wonderful to really see, you know, that how the chapter has grown and matured since then. There were a lot of expectations of ICF Bangalore because just as, you know, maybe a piece of history, there was a chapter of ICF Bangalore sometime in 2010 or 2011. And, you know, that was, I think, before even Hyderabad came up. And there was a IAS officer who actually set it up here. And then various things happened and it kind of fizzled out. There were, I think, 2 or 3 attempts to actually set up a chapter in Bangalore. And there are a lot of people who tried. And it's great that, you know, somehow in 2015, we were able to put everything together and everything fell into place, you know. So it was kind of fortuitous. And I think that was great. And I think what is especially heartening for me is that from there, the way Jagdish took, you know, the mantle and brought it to the next level. And now MG has taken it and he's taking it to yet another level. I think that's really very heartening to watch, you know, and I think that makes me proud, really. Yeah, that's about it. And if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer, maybe at the end of the session. I recognize that time is at a premium.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Hemant. Okay, the next one, here it goes. The art of God is the best of all. As you arise to the incessant call of the cuckoo, the magpie, the parrot, and all. Yes, will the author talk, please?
Yes, Rashmi, that's me. That's my poem. I've been very aspirational about coaching and the ICF Bangalore chapter. I think Vincent, Hemant, and me are the 3 that are here that were part of the founding team of the ICF Bangalore chapter in 2015. And I just wanted that, you know, the essence of coaching really reaches far and wide. And I just felt that we need to have new initiatives and new energy. And we have such a wonderful team now with vibrancy and a lot of, you know, new things sprouting. And this magazine is just one of them. So in my mind, I just wanted to create a team to launch new things. And I think this magazine is one of those. My poem arrived one day, one morning, through this pandemic. But what it shared was not the pandemic and the difficult situations, but in spite of whatever there is, the human spirit is ever soaring. The human spirit cannot be stopped. And I just felt as coaches, if we can know that in our hearts and in our minds, we can be fantastic coaches. So this poem arrived one day in the morning, and it just what shall I say, burst forth from just that aspiration and that knowledge that the strength of humankind is so powerful that no matter what the situation outside, the inner being is abundant. And nature just always shares with us a lot about that. But often we don't, stop to stare, as what is that Robert Frost poem, right? Um, to smell the daffodils and see the beauty around. And a lot of that is within all of us. So I just wanted to inspire a space that made that happen a lot more. So here I am. And thank you, Rashmi and Rekha and Vivek. You guys have done a phenomenal job. It's our first magazine and it's just beautiful. Thank you so much for getting this act together.
Thank you, Lenny.
Thank you, Lenny.
Your poem is beautiful, and the poem is named An Ode to the Divine. It's a beautiful poem, Lenny. I am sure you will really enjoy reading it. Okay, here comes the next one, the next clue. The call of the heart that sets me apart. In the line of duty, commitment brings beauty. Yes.
Thank you. It's me only. When I decided to write, I said I'll put in certain events that have happened in the past. And, when we talk of certain words, what do we actually mean by that? For example, what do I mean by commitment? How would I want to live my life? So these are all actual slices from a previous slide. And I thought I may like to, and give it to a larger audience, just to put it in a story form so that it becomes interesting. And that's it. So this was another opportunity to just put down this short story. And I thought whatever had happened long, long ago. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivek. Vivek has written a real life story titled Commitment, and I think it makes a lot of sense for me as a coach also. Yes, here goes the next one. Circle is thy name, harmony thy game. As coaches, we use it too. The wheel of life, depicting life true. Hello, is Meenakshi there, Rekha?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I was just unable to unmute it for a moment. Thanks,
Okay.
Rashmi. Thank you. Yeah, that's me. So first of all, I mean, fabulous job. Congrats to all of you all. So much of effort has gone into putting this together. And I never thought I would write an article and, share one of my creations there. So this is my journey with mandalas. That's what Circle is all about. So if some of you are familiar with mandalas, it's been used even in ancient times, with respect to self-awareness, healing, in a lot of spiritual ways that it has been used. So for me, it didn't quite start that way. I always believed that I was not at all creative. And I even, I didn't do too well in art in school and all that. But some years ago, I came across this whole concept of coloring mandalas. It's like adult coloring, but there's a structure, and these are these beautiful circular images of mandalas that you color. And I was hooked. And it's been amazing after that. So it's about 3-4 years now that I've been doing that, and very, very peaceful, calming, meditative, and it's addictive. So it's something that I really enjoy doing. And then I've learned how to draw it. I would say I'm still an amateur, not I mean, the art part of it is not what I focus on, but it's a very, very relaxing process. And I think it also connects deeply, where I'm able to center and still myself when I'm doing it. So that's a very, very it's connection with self. And what has happened is also seeing me do. I have many friends, acquaintances in my circle who've been curious about this, and many of them have started doing it. And they've also shared that it's been really helpful. So something that I really enjoy. And yeah, I mean, I keep doing that. It's a regular, it's like a hobby now, which I enjoy doing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Meenakshi. So Meenakshi has drawn a mandala and she's written about mandala, and I actually went inside the topic a bit. And do you think our wheel of life actually depicts a mandala, Meenakshi?
Yes, definitely. Because in mandalas, the concept is about self-awareness, it's about healing. It's also about impermanence, and it's about learning to deal with change. So there are a lot of layers and nuances to it. So definitely it connects even to the wheel of life that we use very often.
Thank you. Thank you, Meenakshi. Okay, here goes the next one. Compassion and resilience go hand in hand. Compassion to self as to others helps our life expand.
That's me, Rashmi. I know. So thank you, Rashmi. Writing about compassion and resilience is something, it's been a learning journey for me as an individual. The coach part comes later. The year has been tough for me. I think that inspired me to write. That's all I wanted to share.
Yeah, so Rekha has written a very heartfelt piece, and she has actually brought in her personal experience, personal loss also. And it's titled Reflections of Compassion and Resilience During the Current Times. Thank you, Rekha. Okay, here comes the next one. Coaching on environment, or the environment of coaching. Both are indicative of better times approaching. Will the author step up, please?
Thank you. It's such a beautiful, creative way, Rashmi. I salute you for taking this effort of making sure that everyone gets the bit and that excitement, even in the authors as much as those who are here, as to how is she going to introduce me now. Thank you very much. But like I always believe, we start with history. And Hemant, Jagdish, Dr. Vincent, Lenny, thank you so much for being here. Bobby and Bikram, I remember the first time we all met as members, you said when members meet, if the history of the chapter is first laid as the foundation, it makes a lot of meaning for the rest of us to know where we started. And that's why it's important to know our history. So thank you so much for being here and taking us through that history, Hemant. I'm sure you gave us just a fragment of the struggle you had. But I'm sure, like parents, you, Lenny and Winston must be so proud to see where the chapter has gone beyond that day. And to be here, well, I stand here as a Climate Coaching Alliance member. I think that's a beautiful space, and how you bring in environment as a part of coaching conversations. And you can do it so effortlessly with such amazing coaches in that group. I would only request all of you to have a look at the website of CCA, that is the Climate Coaching Alliance. It doesn't take a lot because you don't have any membership fee, but to make the environment, because no other time could have taught us that better than the last 6 months. Making environment as part of our coaching conversations, we owe it to our next generation. And that's where I have spoken from. So Rashmi, once again, beautiful. And Rekha, Vivek, wonderful teamwork. I know what you all went through. So hats off, guys. Beautiful launch and so personal. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashmi. Yeah, and I must say it was a very unique topic which you wrote on. That's why I said such diversity of topics which we saw. And her topic is titled Climate on Our Agenda Can Be the New Normal, something which I read for the first time, Rashmi. So thank you very much for it. And here goes the next one. Leader, leader, where have you been? Only with my people can I be seen, for they face uncertainties and bomb threats and tsunamis. With my people have I always been. Will the author please step up?
Thank you, Rashmi. Rashmi's follow-up is amazing. You know, she asked me to write, and I thought, by saying yes, I'll say okay, I'll find some time, and I completely forgot that I was supposed to write. And then she followed up, and then she pushed, And then I said, OMG, what am I supposed to write? And I was thinking about what to write, and I first thought I'll share something from my career. And then I realized that in my career, I've had a blessed career, very, very blessed career, thanks to the Almighty. And I think one of the biggest learning that I've had is because I've been tested in my career. And I've been tested time and again. And I thought of writing of those OMG moments which tested me, and where I really had to say, oh my God, what do I do now? So I've shared that with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jagdish. Jagdish has written a very nice narrative, very inspirational write-up on his real life experiences. Oh my God, moments in a leadership journey. And he has mentioned about all those things which I said about the tsunami, about the bomb threat, and a lot of other challenges which he faced. Okay, here we go to the next one. Busy bee, where have you been? It's been ages that you have been seen. I am in business, need to go on and on. No time for anything else, lest my business goes down. The author, please step up.
It does look like me.
Why don't you come on video, Yatin?
Thanks to you, sir.
Thank you, Rashmi, Vivek, and Rekha. I think it's been a really wonderful effort. And I'm very happy to be a part.
Yatin, you're in the dark. We'd like to throw some light on you, if possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that light enough, or is it too heavy?
It's very good.
Okay. Okay. So I thought when you gave me 2 minutes, which I thought was time sufficient just to say goodbye and hello, I will be brief in sharing 3-4 thoughts, which actually and experiences behind me working on this B2B, the concept and the toolkit. Now, at the beginning of my career, like most people, I was also in awe of those people who appear busy, which is kind of an, busyness as an index of the significance of your job and a measure of success. So it was kind of a status symbol for me, an aspiration to reach. But as I grew with my understanding and I learned to differentiate between activity and results, I was wondering, in a sense, somebody who, how can he be 100% all the time busy? Is like person who's straitjacketed to a preset schedule with no flexibility to address any exigencies or uncertainties of life. And I felt, as an analogy, it's like a cricketer who's a batsman who takes a stance, pre-committed stance to a delivery before it's delivered, so that you don't have, you get surprised which the bowler throws at you. Now, compared to that, a batsman who has all the time in the world, in the last moment to dispatch the ball where he wants. I wonder what kind of a batsman a CEO would like to be. And that's where it started. In my own experience, when I was working as a CEO, I realized that a measure of utility and success of a leader is not in how much he is preoccupied, he or she, but actually how much he is free. And I actually made a thumb rule which I practice, and I thought at least 25% of a CEO's time should be kept free, unscheduled, to address all the events and the people who need your time. And I found that is the turning point for me and my understanding. So lastly, I just want to share 2 more thoughts which completes this business to business piece that I did. I realized that apart from being a measure of success, busyness is actually a kind of what I call as a corporate disease state, which if it's not addressed in time, and most people don't realize that, it can have a very cancerous and fatal effect. And I conclude with my realization saying that busyness is a state of mind. It's not physical load. And therefore, I've said in my article that until busyness is conquered, business doesn't start. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yatin. And the name of his write-up is Business to Business. Business
Business to business.
to business. Business to business. Yes, thank you very much. The next one now. Gazing out, but looking in. That's me and my battle within. Will the author please step up?
Yeah, thanks for not making the quiz so difficult. I was wondering what you're going to ask and if I'm going to listen.
Oh, you didn't have the question before, MG?
Yeah, no, I don't know. So I thought he doesn't do that, special privileges to the president. Gazing out was traveling in a journey in search for myself. And looking in was while you look out, you look inside your mind. After my retirement from Emphasis and coaching these days, when I look back in my life, right from my days of the military school, I was a house captain in school, then engineering college, UPSC exam, and all along, there was a motive, a drive to be something, live up to either my parents' expectations, a built up image for myself, wanting to be successful, defining success in my mind and living up to that success. There was a should be in me, it was good. It was driving me to work hard, driving me to achieve success, driving my ambitions, my desires in life, and propellant of change in me. I changed as a joint secretary in the Ministry of Railways, and I quit and joined an IT company at 2, 3 levels lower at 22 years of my service, taking a pension from government. So, but there was a driver for growth, driver for doing well, driver for success, all inside my mind. I should be all the time. Now I am 64. And recently something happened which dramatically changed my attitude to life. That was the birth of my grandson by name Ruhan. We call him Ruhan. Ruhan in Persian means kind-hearted and spiritual. Now, what he showed me was absolute authenticity, which I forgot to even see in my own little daughter when she grew up when I was a father. As a grandfather, I had time to observe this little fellow, and he was so present, so much in the being, so much not scared of anything in life, experimenting, learning, and just being himself. And what a wonder, what a joy it was. And I saw him enjoying life. And I know that in a few years from now, he will also turn out to be, I must be this, I must be spelling bee contest in US. He is in Chicago. So I know he will compete with other Indian children, this and that. And he will follow a should be. But I wonder now, when am I going to stop this should be and just be? Just be who I am. This is the battle that's going on with me. On one hand, suddenly it tells me that just being means self-accepting, accepting who you are, not growth anymore or things like that, which is scaring me. On the other hand, the should be is motivating me, energizing me, but that's a race which is never going to end. So this is the battle within myself. This is an article which I've written. I hope I invite somebody else also to talk about it. Many of you must be thinking about it. I don't know the answers, but I have embarked on this journey. That's what I meant by looking in while I look outside. And thank you, Rashmi.
Thank you, MG. That's a very passionate way of talking, saying about it. And it's a very passionate write-up also. And let me tell you, that is the reason we retained the photo of you with your grandson, and it has come out so beautiful in the article when you see it. So thank you very much. And the name of his article is My Ongoing Battle with Myself. Okay, the next one. Seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. And that is empathy. Well, will the author please step up?
Okay, I hope it's me, Rashmi.
Yes, Payal, it's you.
Very good.
You got me so nervous as MG was saying that, will I be able to crack the riddle? I know it is my writing.
I'm sure you cracked the riddle, otherwise I'll give you the hint.
I mean, but in the right sense of writing it, I should have been able to see that this is something I wrote, right? So I think before I even begin to say anything, many congratulations to the ICF chapter on the whole and the editorial team. You and Rekha and Vivek, I think this is an absolutely amazing job. There are no words to say the kind of monumental effort which I can imagine could have gone behind putting this together, and the vision, and in making this to make this vision a reality is what you three people, what all the team has done, in bringing this together. And I think also the fact that I wasn't really aware of the journey of ICF chapter from 2010 and then 2015, how you all got together. Just an imagery, came to my mind when Hemant, if I'm not wrong, right, was talking about it. Because I'm still have to get to know a lot of people on the board. So I think you people have planted a seed. It has blossomed into a tree, and we are here. We are enjoying the shade. So in that sense, I feel so grateful that, because you people have done all the hard work in nurturing and taking care of the seed. And we have, come to revel in the peace and the amazing, I think the joy that comes in being together. And one of the convictions that I strongly have is that, in introducing, expanding, and enhancing the range of publications, in future, which I'm sure we are going to do, the most important factor, this is the most important factor for the concrete development of any organization. And I believe that ICF chapters should have an organ publication in that sense, because the words have the power to change, while also providing a lot of inspiration and encouragement. And that is what you did to me when I wrote for the magazine. So many thanks to Vivek for for letting me know that Payal, okay, we are looking for an article, and I was really deeply touched because he thought of me, that I could let it come forward and contribute. And then Rekha, how she guided me through the journey of there was a bit of we talked about how and when and what could be done even better, in bringing forth what I wanted to share with all of you. So I look forward to the ICF Bengaluru magazine, the maiden edition, which I'm sure will bring to us the latest on research, tools for personal and professional development, insightful stories, amazing fun anecdotes, thought-provoking writing pieces, and also, clarify the purpose for both coaches and clients about this life-changing profession. So, and I absolutely loved contributing to this edition. I have spoken about the great parallel that is there between Buddhism and the world of coaching. In fact, that is what drew me to coaching so strongly. Vivek knows the journey I've been going. I used to blabber throughout our ACC journey about Buddhism and coaching, just fitting like a puzzle together. So the principles of Buddhism and the core competencies that we practice as a coach are just not away from each other in any manner. And I think the bedrock for that is empathy. So as coaches, we are first empathetic human beings. And that is what I wanted to write about and have contributed to. So super delighted and awaiting the e-print. Looking forward to reading all that has been shared in the magazine. And I hope you all enjoy my article. And Rashmi, this is like a mind-blowing comparing. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Payal. I will again chase you for the next article.
Sorry? Yes.
I will chase you for the next article.
Yeah, so Payal has written on, Payal has written on empathy in coaching. Yes, now the next one. The journey which changed a life which was full of strife. This story talks of that young boy whose life his coach filled up with joy.
Sir,
Please step up.
where are you?
So here's a couplet. Thank you, Rashmi. That possibly could be me.
Yes. Yes. Good one.
Okay, that's a great initiative that you guys have taken, and thank you, team. It's got off the ground. Congratulations, you, Rashmi, Rekha, Vivek. I think it would be unique to read this and to have this in our possession. Wonderful. The article I wrote, yes, that simply chronicles an experience. I confess that I took this assignment to coach somebody young because I assumed that it'll be far easier to deal with a youngster than a hardened professional. This is early in my coaching days, roughly about some 8-9 years back. I've since had at least 5 more young clients, and there have been several lessons which I've learned from this and the subsequent experiences. But there are 2 things which I thought I would make mention of. Firstly, you have to create rapport with the young. You have to be in their world. If you want to have anything, forget coaching, even a dialogue with them. And they have to accept you. You can't put on any pretenses. You can't, fake your way there. You got to be actually from your heart, seeing that their world is different, but you quite accept that. And then they begin to accept you. So that's one big lesson which can come with very little of, or rather by keeping judgment absolutely at the 0 level, and being very aware that they can shut you off so easily unless you find that you're vibing with them. So that's one big lesson. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to approve of all that they do, but they know that you are comfortable in their world. So that's one big lesson which came through with all these coaching of youngsters. They don't like the word experience, certainly not coming from somebody who's elder, certainly not coming from a coach. So that's one thing which can be avoided. If you have to talk about your younger days, it will be best to recollect and speak about what you felt at that time, your being at that time, rather than what you did at that time. So those are the experiences. The other thing is that in coaching, it is meant to be a very strong ability of yours to listen. But when you're in a conversation with the youngster, this goes to a very high level. You have to completely just listen. As you listen, you pick up something or the other on which your questions can be based. The minute you start telling them and you stop listening, that's it. End of that conversation. Anyway, so at the end of all this, let me confess that I've completely enjoyed being with them. It's been great fun. I do look forward to them. Each one is a different one. And each year, you find that the same age group is a different set of people. Once again, thank you, Rashmi, for having my article accepted. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, KR. And his article name is A Journey That Was Different. And he talks about coaching a youngster. Again, a very unique article. Okay, here goes the next one. I am centered, I am balanced, and I am at peace. Very deep article. And nothing more I could write here. I would like the author to tell more about it. Over to you.
Okay.
Shankar, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Please.
Okay, you're able to hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Rashmi, Vivek, Rekha, for considering this article. I thank the entire ICF Bangalore chapter leadership. Immensely grateful. So this is really about a journey which I'm very passionate about, and this journey of becoming centered, or I would rather say being centered. And this article provides insight on what does it really mean to be centered. as people who are striving for mastery in coaching or any other profession, I think the key thing is, how do we find our real center, who we are? And people who know me know how deeply passionate I am, and I'm inspired by Sri Ramana Maharishi's teachings. And this article draws inspiration from there, the essence of who am I. That's what I'm, humbly trying to bring forth and try to expound in this particular article. Rather than talking about this, I thought what would be more inspiring is a poem that I just came across very recently. And this is a poem by William Blake. And I would like to kind of share this. And this probably gives you the essence of what centeredness is really about. And here it goes. To see a world in a grain of sand. To see a world in a grain of sand. And heaven in a wild flower. And heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. So I would invite you to go through this and probably draw some insights. Thank you very much again for this opportunity, Rashmi, Rekha, Vivek, and everyone else. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shankar.
Thank you, Shankar.
That was a beautiful narration of that poem. And Shankar's article has the title, What is Being a Centered Coach? Okay, now the next one. All wonders you seek are within yourself. And this author talks deeply about the teachings in Gita. Will the author please step up?
Is that me?
Yes, Jai Shankar, it is you.
Thank you. And thank you for picking this up for publication. This is, to me, this has been one of my longings ever since I was told many years ago that I was someone who was very poor at execution. There's a feedback that my first boss gave me. बहुत सोचता रहे पर करता नहीं है. Now I'm sure many of our coaches come to us with this problem. And as I kind of introspected on it, and as I started coaching people, I realized to externalize a problem is very, very easy. So simple and easy to externalize it. You can say the times are bad. You can say times are disruptive. You can say the weather is bad. You can say my parents did this to me or my boss did this to me. Externalizing, you can do it just like that. It doesn't. It gives you a nice feeling of cozy comfort. I am not responsible for what happens to me. Then somewhere, even though I have read the Gita many a time, even as a college student, as a student of Swami Chinmayananda, somewhere in this kind of an adverse moment, it kind of came up to me that, am I creating all the misery that I am complaining about? How am I creating it? And I think from there, I never looked back. Okay. So to me, I think whatever we may say today, whenever I talk to my customers, whenever I talk to people around, oh, these are disruptive times. These are really bad times. These are really difficult times to be in. You know, as if times have been disruptive and difficult only after coronavirus came. These have been there for times immemorial. So if you could accept that, then this becomes another day that you will live. This becomes another way that you will live your potential. So that's where it came from. That last shloka of the Gita, it says, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Now, the meaning of this shloka is there in the article. You could get there to read it. But all that I would just leave this with saying, you know, I love the way Rashmi summarized it in our
Thank you very much, Jay Shankar, and very deep. And I'm sure you all will really enjoy his article, Disruptive Times. Okay, we are left with the last article, and I'll just read the small poem on it. Which is the biggest power? The power of name or fame, or the power of winning the game? No, the biggest power of all is the power of choice, as it reflects our own inner voice. And no guessing here, this article I have written. So it was not a quiz for me, but I did write something. And my article is named The Power of Choice. And I have written about being aware of ourselves. The more we are aware of ourselves, the more things become clear as to what is going to be my path in life. What is it that I choose? My choices become much more meaningful. So I have written a story about a person with limiting belief, and the moment she comes to know about that limiting belief, how her whole life changes. And this ability to be able to choose, the ability to see light, the ability to see clearly is such a big power. And that is the power of choice, which I have put in my small article in this magazine. So, well, friends, it would be great to get your feedback on that article also, as well as all the other articles. And we have already heard all the authors now. Maybe I think we can spend a few minutes if there's anything which someone else would like to speak who has not got a chance to speak. Any questions here before we come to a close of this launch, and then we launch the magazine formally. Yes, anything. The forum is open here.
Rashmi, PK just joined. He was one of our co-authors. So perhaps he would want a minute to just talk about his experience.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Welcome, PK. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, good evening all. Yeah, it was a wonderful experience looking back and, counting those days and weeks and months. It was a beautiful journey with me, Hemant and Winston. We had few rounds of few iterations as well. And, it was actually walking a path that was around 12 months almost, which started in November 2014 and sort of ended 6th September 2015. So when Rekha asked someone who can volunteer for writing about the early days, quickly Winston, me and Hemant formed a team. And then I think you would enjoy that, probably the days that some of us know Rajat is here, many others possibly part of that team is here today. So it was beautiful, and reliving those days, and thanks for giving an opportunity to relive those days, because we were really charged, and we were looking forward for those days, and thank you very much. We enjoyed the journey, and yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PK, for putting in such a lovely piece and taking us down memory lane. And that is the first article which we have put there because it reminds us of our genesis. So yes, thank you very much to all of you. Yeah. So
PK,
yes, any questions? Yeah, please.
PK, missing all the NTRs in the morning, man. Hemant. We had that wonderful practice of the MC going around and to good restaurants in different parts of the city and having breakfast meetings.
Yep.
It was a beautiful idea. It was a wonderful thing to do. It kind of got people together. Lovely, lovely initiative.
Yep. And doshas in the woodlands.
Oh yes. Oh, The way to a man's brain is through his stomach. Yeah. Always. Lovely breakfast. Wonderful.
I'm waiting for someone to say something before we close.
Maybe it's dinner time.
Is that an indication? Yeah, it has been lovely. This evening has been lovely with you all. Thank you so much for your patient, listening and being here with us. It really encourages all of us to go forward in this direction. And Rekha, I would request you to kindly propose a vote of thanks.
Sure, sure. Before I propose the vote of thanks, I just want to quickly unveil our magazine, not taking much of a time. So there we go. I hope you all
Wow.
can see. And I'll just flip a few pages so that you guys know how it looks, and it'll hit your email boxes and
Amazing.
the WhatsApp group. So this is how our magazine looks. And I'll just flip a few more pages for just people to see.
This is Mukesh here. Congratulations, editorial board. Excellent work done. And Rashmi, I love the way you have hosted the show today.
Thank you very much. It has been a team effort. Thank you so much.
Can I put a word there? Though I've spoken quite a lot. Yeah. Rashmi, I'm in the entire editorial team. I have contributed to certain platforms quite a number of times, but I always felt that after the contribution, the author is forgotten in a sense. So he or she is not, but I mean, it's like the end, right? But today, I think you just made us feel so cherished and valued, which is so integral to the practice of coaching as well. So thank you so much for that. And as I absolutely thank the MC who started from 2015. As I said, you have created such a safe space for all of us to just come and enjoy, and have taken the burden of building this together with your team. So congratulations for that as well. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful, Rashmi. Enjoyed the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, editorial team.
Thank you.
All the effort.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Super congratulations. Super well done. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Rama.
Entire team.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
you,
We look forward to more contributions from all of you, your insights and your experiences, valuable experiences.
Is this going to be a quarterly?
Thank you so
what is
much.
it like?
Yes,
Yes, it's going to be quarterly.
Going to be quarterly.
It's going to be a quarter.
Well done,
Great.
Rekha, Vivek, and Rashmi. I know how much effort has gone in, as I was talking to Rekha in the initial stages of how this magazine started off. Kudos, great work. Lot of effort has gone in, and the fruits of success has been very, very sweet. The magazine looks really yummy.
Thank you.
Rekha, can we request for a gallery view snapshot, or you have taken?
Yes, we can.
We can, right?
Yeah, take it fast. People are leaving.
We can request everyone who has stayed back to just be there. Yeah.
Yeah, just to be on video.
Hey, Chandran, you need to get show your video. Chandran.
And we have been very true to the time. We have been exactly 1 minute less than an hour. So I hope that is also appreciated.
Vivek, can you turn your video on, please, Vivek?
Yes, sir. It is there on top. It is there.
He's here.
But there's another Vivek which is showing.
He's in two places.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay, all that.
All right. Hey, Mukesh, you too.
I have a camera problem. Please go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, your picture is as good as face. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
And before we leave, please keep your articles and short stories and whatever you want to write ready. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, we'll request you to send it to us. Don't even think about it. Just send it to us.
So, Rekha, do you have a formal vote of thanks? I think you were supposed to say. No?
Yes. I guess
You can go ahead.
I guess Mr. Ravi Srinivasan had raised hand to say something. I guess we missed him. I don't know if he's still there. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your heartful contribution to our magazine. Please await to hear from the editorial team for the upcoming issue. We'll be communicating with all of you on the next themes that we're going to bring in. And it's going to be a quarterly magazine. Till now, it's still going to be a virtual magazine. I'd like to thank Rashmi and Vivek, who've been a pillar of support, and all my MC team colleagues who've supported me through and throughout. And thank you to all the authors who came forward to write and make this a success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.